News Talk 640, WFNC. The mayor is making signs that he can't hear. Can you hear now?
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear that?
I can't hear myself.
Well, can you hear now? I'm trying to turn it up so you can hear. Hello.
There you go.
Yeah, okay, all right. Good grief. No, it wasn't you. The mayor would like to. I still don't understand why you want to hear yourself.
Like to hear myself?
All right, in any event, the mayor is Mitch Colvin. He's here, and I'm making some adjustments here, Kenny, so I can make sure I can get you up on the podcast as well. And not for any particular reason. Yeah, but there may be all of a sudden a need for you to make comment, at which time you have the right to remain silent, and that you will. All right.
Good morning.
Mr. Mayor, you said you had a ton of stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
And I don't want to hinder the process and anything like that. And I need to make sure that the microphone is on. We're going to kind of hear you. But once again, I haven't added the mic, but that's okay. We can still hear you right now.
You can hear me?
Yes. Let me put this microphone on here, and we're going to hear you really well.
All right.
And, it would be neat if I could just leave this stuff set up in here all the time.
Yeah. Well, we tried.
Does Kenny mess with this?
No.
There are gremlins here, Mitch. Not only are there raccoons in every place, but there's gremlins that'll come in here. Did you ever watch the movie Gremlins?
I did.
And you know how you're not supposed to put water on the mugwais after midnight?
All right.
After midnight, I'm telling you, they're here.
Something's going on in here, I can tell you that for sure, but that's okay. But look, Mitch, we're glad to have you here.
Yeah.
Now, you got audio up, you got your name underneath you, and you're on the screen, and you want to talk about some stuff. We got budget stuff.
Yeah.
Well, what's the latest? I saw an article where you're saying you don't want a tax increase.
Well, of course not. No, citizens are saying it, so that was my job to fight and get us to a zero tax increase budget. We did that, and we'll talk about that a little bit. One of the things I want to cover. Yesterday, I spent the day at the legislature. What a day. There was a surprise move made in a bill that Representative Diane Wheatley had that no one knew took place, that 911 operations a forced consolidation for the county and the city for 911, which we have been talking about for a number of years. But this bill basically would give the county commissioners control to decide about consolidation and then control about deciding who runs it and operates it. So that caught us off guard. Number of the delegation members themselves, Senator Applewhite and others were caught off guard. I did have an opportunity to talk to Representative Charles Smith, of course, Representative Colvin. I talked to Senator McInnes and Wheatley, and came up there with the chief of police and the fire chief, and Jody did a magnificent job. These are users of the system who talked about what a forced consolidation, unplanned consolidation could mean. It could mean loss of life, and so.
Well, hold on, let me stop you for a second, because we have been dealing with this for many, many years, and part of the issue is who is in charge, and that's always been the stickler on. Well, we're going to do it. We're going to get it done. And so I haven't read Diane Wheatley's bill or what it means. But someone has got to say enough is enough. Let's get this done.
Well, and I agree. Chairman Devier and I had been working on some of these what we call legacy issues that city and county had, right? And so, you got to look at this. This goes back 2007, predates me, predates him. We have been working on this, Parks and Rec, that, and so it was kind of complicated. Then you had a turnover on council. I agree. The legislators' involvement forces us to the table, right? I think what the chiefs are saying is that if this is done haphazardly, or if this is done without consideration of certain things as users, because none of us are users. We make the policy, we fund it or put the budget, but as users, they're going to say that the consequences could mean loss of life. That was what Chief Dove, very passionate, normally a very quiet guy, passionately made that case yesterday. And I think Senator McInnes and them heard it. They paused the bill to say, hey, and this is the other thing, Gilbert. We were given a resolution, or sent a resolution by the county on May the 19th that the board voted on to talk about that they needed an official answer back from us by June 30. this is not June 30th, as you know. So this bill was moving simultaneously to that resolution. So some of the commissioners didn't know that the legislature had been asked to get involved with this. And so I think we'll work through it. We need to make sure that the best system is in place. This has nothing to do with egos, but according to Chief Dove and them and to Chief Bryant, we've had situations to where, a husband had a domestic violence where he killed a spouse, killed himself. A child was left there and had to be taken home or to the police station by the police because you didn't have social workers on call. We just saw that they eliminated 60 or 70 positions there. If all 911 runs through there, are they going to ramp up the social service part of it? Are you going to have a CAD system that accommodates the drones and the shot spotter and the new technology cameras and the license plate readers that now the city is engaged in? Will you have the staffing capacity? We have over 60 911 operators. The building where they are in Executive Place can accommodate about 8 to 10. So what happens there? This bill sticks that there and says you got a year to get it done. If you do it incorrectly or improperly, then what are the consequences going to be to this community safety?
I understand that, but you've pointed out, I mean, we've been dealing with this. There prior administrations and everything.
Right.
As a news reporter, I've been reporting on this thing since 27. And so there's been talk about it. There's been a lot of dialogue back and forth.
Right.
We thought we're close. We got a building that was the old SBI building, I think it is, on Executive Place. And we opened up a spot. We knew at that point that place wasn't big enough for a consolidation.
Right.
So decisions are made, and I don't want to say haphazardly, but everybody, it's like every man or every county or every municipality for themselves. And we know from the storms that we've had here with Matthew and Florence that we can work together.
Sure.
We know that we can do that. And so now it's just a matter of getting this thing on the table, putting the brick and mortar up and having a spot for everybody that's large enough to accommodate. And then who's in charge is I don't know. That's
so
why does that have to be a stickler?
Let's go back to something that you said, right? Since 2007, this has been talked about to consolidate. Has 911 services failed anybody since 2007? No, I mean, so you got the coverage.
Yeah.
Now listen. But here's
let me
the thing.
say this because you've just made the point, and I'm going to make the point back.
Right.
You said that no, 911 hasn't failed.
Right.
And so Chief Dove, if he's hungry, I'd get him a sandwich. I love him. He's a good guy.
Right.
He's the Fayetteville Police Chief of Police. I mean, Fire Chief. You can't all of a sudden throw on the table, somebody's going to lose their life if we do this. Because no one has lost their life because of this. And you said that because it hasn't failed. The 911 hasn't failed.
No, you missed the point. What I'm saying to you is that, yes, consolidation is more efficient. Consolidation would probably save money at the end, but just because it hasn't consolidated doesn't mean that this community is gone without coverage, right?
And it doesn't mean somebody's going to lose their life.
Well,
I don't like it when people use that as the reason we got to do this.
But listen, if anything like that, if there is a disconnect to it, that is the consequence. The reality of it is if some call is dropped or something doesn't happen, you're not saying and you pray that it never will. But if you don't plan stuff like that, like you said about the building, if you buy a building and you know the community is headed in that direction 10 years ago and you spent $20 million to buy a building and $20 million to upfit it and you only got 8 to 10 additional spaces, you haven't planned for consolidation. These are things that communities plan for. Communities have consolidation. Communities have it separate. Now, if you're moving toward it in a responsible way, it's like merging school systems or unpacking it. It's not done in a matter of days or weeks. Sometimes it takes years. And so you have people that are at the table. You're trying to figure out how to do it, but you had to make the point to the legislator, this is not a decision that you can snap your fingers and it's done in 12 years in a responsible way. Now, if you do it and something happens, that's between the representatives deciding their name on the bill. And so that's what the chief was communicating to them. They use the system. The policy board, there are things about it that we don't understand. There are things I learned yesterday that I didn't understand.
Well, I hope that we come to a resolution on this.
We will, because now you have a June 30 deadline. We're going to have the city and we're going to have the county at the table to both do it. But again, the level of service that is provided in an urbanized area is different from the level of service on a rural system. Would you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely.
We get 1,000 calls a day. They get 500 calls a day. Would you agree with that?
I understand that.
All right. So then you can't take an urbanized system and and embedded in a rule system unless the rule system is ready for that kind of volume. Would you agree with that?
Well, here's the thing. You're setting this up like an attorney.
No, I'm just asking a question.
Well, but the point is, these facts that you're bringing out, you're basically saying the city has more of a responsibility than in terms of
So would it make sense for a larger to
be
absorb
able to
the smaller?
Well, and so there we get back to the point.
No, we're not there.
Get back to the point of who want to
no,
be
but
in,
you
who's going to be in
said,
charge.
hey, this thing should have been solved in 5 minutes. And
No,
it's
I didn't
not
say
that.
that.
It's not that difficult.
It's
I mean,
been
it's
more
not
than
that
5
easy.
years.
Yeah.
Let me say
well,
that.
and again, you live in Vander, right?
Right.
I can assure you that the Vander Fire Department doesn't get called as much as the Fayetteville Fire Department.
Well, no, they don't. And the Vander Fire Department does a great job out
Absolutely.
there. They do a great job.
But put 10 times the workload on them and see what happens.
Well, but it's not. That's not the. I don't see that as the point. The point is.
What do you mean?
Well, the point is that we have a consolidated 911 center.
Absolutely.
And so it's wherever it is.
Look, we've been tasked to get it done. All right. But the point of the article that we started this conversation out is communication, right? The Board of Commissioners didn't know that Chairman had made these contacts.
Well, someone said, look, enough is enough.
Yeah,
we're going to put a bill in,
and I get that.
It done.
I get that.
That's what.
But we operate as a body, and so these are from his commissioners, not mine. So when I talk to a couple of them and say, what about this? They didn't know anything because the deadline said June 30. And of course, yesterday was the 17th, which was my birthday, by the way, which I spent time up there. So.
Well, happy birthday on you, and Father's Day is good. Look, we beat this thing down.
Let's get to the budget, man.
Well, look, you're out of time. It's about time for me to get you out.
No way.
Shake Shaft, come on in here because we're talking about
Shake Shaft's a firefighter.
That's right. We bring him in here, and you're going to take part of his time. Look, get this done.
Look, we're going to get it done. I think we've got people at the table that don't have some of that same legacy history about who's in charge, city versus county, and all of that stuff.
Look, Freddie Johnson and those guys are great guys. They've been around for some time here. Captain Shake Shaft is in here right now with the Fayetteville Fire. How are you, sir?
If I was any better, I'd be a base.
Well, look, I don't want to keep beating this thing down. And Mayor, we not wasted our time, but we talked an awful lot. Man. Well, 911 center and consolidation, and this bill now by Diane Wheatley forcing people to the table to get this done.
Right.
Is to me, and when Chief Dove says somebody's going to die if we rush, I don't buy that.
You don't buy it.
I don't because no one has died because you guys have worked well with the 911 system.
So what they're telling
separate
you
the way
is
it is.
if you don't have the right equipment, well, you do this for a living.
Yes, sir.
So if you don't have what you need when you need it, could people lose their life?
Yeah, and it's not, again, you mentioned earlier about who's in charge being a discussion. It's really the nuances like you brought up that we have systems that work just a little bit differently than they do. We have technologies that work a little bit differently than they do. And when you force that transition, those things may not merge as effectively as they could. We're using a shared CAD system. So we have things that work together already. We work together already in the street. But those nuances, they really, when seconds count, we don't want to mess that up. Those things, when it's down to a matter of 10, 15, 30 seconds before that room flashes and somebody's inside of it, we really need to be spot on. And this group of leadership that I've seen in the last 3 to 5 years has had more conversations about making this happen than I've seen in 20. I mean, it's been talked about forever, but we're making so much progress, so much progress. We need to keep that progress moving in a safe way.
Well, for some reason, Diane Wheatley and folks felt that we had to force the hand. And so now the hand is forced. I don't like forcing hands. I mean, let's be all adults in the room here and come to an agreement. But we've been talking about this since 2007. Yeah. I know because I've covered it as a reporter at Channel 11, Channel 5, over all these years, the consolidation of the 911. Right. And then we end up buying a building that's not big enough to accommodate what the need is. If I were the mayor, but I'm not, your seat is safe. If I was a county commissioner, and then Kirk Devier's seat is safe. I'm not running yet. And so if I would have gotten this done.
Would you? Of course. Yeah.
I would have gotten this done. It would have been a priority.
You sound like somebody in D.C. All they needed was get this done. Get this done.
Look, I don't talk about the people in D.C. on this show here. Mr. Mayor, it's time to give you the boot, but we didn't talk about the budget, so we're going to steal a little bit of time here for a second. And you've got some great stuff that we need to talk about
yes,
as
sir.
well.
I got my coffee. The mayor can stick around.
So I'll get out of here real quick.
No, well, hold it. I got to go to break. Look, let's not go to.
We'll do anything you want to do,
all right,
sir.
Kill the news. Well, let's play some commercials, and then we're going to come back and we could talk with both of these guys here and get stuff done. Because, Mr. Mayor, I didn't want to jip you out of this, but we had to have this conversation about this 911.
It needs to be had.
Yeah, because people,
but
in
it needs to be
the city,
done responsibly.
Well, city residents and county residents are saying, "What? Enough is enough. Let's get this. Let's do what we have to do. Let's go to some commercials. We're going to come back with both of them right here. I got all three of you on screen right now. We'll talk about your stuff here in a second, Captain Shake Shaft.
Yes, sir.
And we need to talk about some budget stuff as well. All right, you're listening to News Talk 640. We're WFNC.
This report is sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. Service can help you troubleshoot the likely cause of your pesky check engine light for free and help you save time and money down the road. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
I'm Charles Evans, candidate for Cumberland County Commissioner at Large. As your public servant, it will be my responsibility to work for the betterment of our community for each citizen of this great county. As your past county commissioner at large, I have done just that and will continue to put each of our citizens first. I'm Charles Evans, asking for your support as your Cumberland County Commissioner at Large. Together, let's build a county we love calling home.
Paid for by the committee to elect Charles Evans.
A brighter future is closer than you think with help from Fayetteville Technical Community College, where you can sign up now for summer and fall classes. Signing up early for fall classes provides you with the best class options to choose from and reduces stress, making the transition to fall classes much more enjoyable and efficient. At Fayetteville Tech, opportunity meets flexibility, so you can learn on your own schedule, online or face-to-face, with affordable tuition and financial aid options available by completing the FAFSA. You can easily reach your goals with programs to choose from in healthcare, business, skilled trades, technology, and more. You can discover the path that's right for you. Fayetteville Technical Community College is more than just classes. It's a community where you're welcome, supported, and encouraged every step of the way. You belong at Fayetteville Technical Community College. Being future ready starts at FTCC. Don't forget to visit us online at faytechcc.edu.
Good morning, Fayetteville with Gilbert Bays on WFNC.
News Talk 640. Cut the music out. We're getting right back to it. Heck with all that music. All right, now look, this is, I've got.
What'd you say offline?
I'm going to say what I said offline. I'm going to make my point. You know, I just got to tell who's here, who's on camera. If you're on the podcast right now, you're looking at Captain Stephen Shake Shaft. He's the public information person for the Fayetteville Fire Department. You got the mayor of Fayetteville in here, Mitch Colvin. He's been the mayor since dirt. He's been here forever. 5 terms, is it 5
Not
terms?
before 2007.
Well,
so
see, now look,
you're
he's trying to disown the fact that we have been trying to get a 911 center in here since 2007. I've covered the story since 2007. Let's end it right now. Diane Wheatley's got the bill forcing everybody, the county to the table.
Yeah.
Her bill says that the county should be in charge of them. No, that's not it. The city has a higher volume of calls than the county. The city should be in charge of the 911 center. That's the end of it. Let's kill the bill.
Sign it?
No, I'm not going to sign it. Gilbert Bays for mayor. All right. Now, look, we joke about this here, but it is important to our community.
We'll get it done.
I know you're going to get it done. And, both the city and county firefighters and emergency workers do a great job for our community. We have some of the best, and the recognition that they receive for the work that they do in this community is fantastic. So now let's take care of the administration portion of this. Let's build us a building. You said the city wants to build something big enough.
It needs to be built for the future, right? For future growth.
Exactly.
Yep.
And then you'll build that, bring the county folks in, and let the city run it.
Right.
All right. That's the end of it. That's what it is. Diane, kill the bill. Put the Gilbert Bays bill in there.
There you go. I like it.
I know you do.
All right.
Look, let's talk budget real quick, and then we're going to give you the book.
Yeah, so the goal was to come out of there with a zero tax increase. We were able to do that. So I thank the council members thank the staff for, indulging us and coming back with these scenarios. We were kind of stuck, and so I brought a few proposals for consideration. So what we ended with was a 3% pay raise for staff, cost of living pay raise. The manager recommended 4%, so that 1% helped us get some other things. So we appreciate these guys, and they're on a different cycle anyway, but we want the staff to know that it was no reflection. It was just one of those budgetary decisions we had to make. But we looked at other municipalities and counties at 2.5% or so, and so we got with 3. We got our drone first responder system that the chief had asked for. We got 2 mental health teams for Office of Community Safety to help with some of those response calls. We were able to get a number of community projects spread throughout the city, a lot in District 7, some investment in the Merchant Road Corridor where we're looking for the grant for Councilmember Harris and Jones's district. Phase 5, those West Fayetteville, that's been lingering. We've got an extra grant there for people to encourage more sewer connections so PwC can bring that project to a close. And so there are a number of things in the budget. We were proud about it. It was hard work, and we'll adopt the final budget on Monday.
Yeah, and that was my next question. So you got the pieces in place.
Yep.
City manager presented his. You guys whittled through it, and now we're waiting for the vote on Monday to adopt the budget, and city will be done in time.
That's it.
Okay. All right, well, look, Mr. Mayor, I appreciate you.
I'm getting the boot now.
Yeah, absolutely. But, you can sit there if you like, if you got a minute.
No, I got to go.
All right, well, look. All right. Yeah, man. Yeah, look, when you get up out the chair, I'm going to have us on camera, get you up out of here. Mr. Mayor, it's always a pleasure.
Good to see you.
Yes, take care of yourself. And Steve, you want to sit over there and move over to the big chair? We'll move you in here, and there you have it, just like that. Boom. The fact of the matter is that this was your time, and the mayor and I have been talking quite a bit about this 911 consolidation thing. It impacts what you do and what your firefighters do. Chief Dove is fighting. He's an advocate for it to make it happen. And so we'll see how this all shakes out.
Yeah, and like he said, it's been a long time in the making, working really hard. But what I don't want to discount is all the good that has happened in this process. Like I said, if you call back in the day, if you called 911 and it pinged off the wrong cell phone tower, they had to say, well, hold while we transfer you to the city, and I'll hold while we transfer you to medical or whatever. And now that's not the case. We're using the same computer system for dispatching wise. So response times are getting better, and we don't want to do anything that's going to decrease the progress we've made. We want to do only things that will make it even better.
Okay, you're here today, and I've already talked about a couple of these things. Let's talk about the thing that's happened at 10 o'clock. That's an important thing. Give us the details.
10 o'clock today out in the Target parking lot on Skybar Road, we are having a car safety child passenger safety clinic. There's a little bit of a misnomer out there that the fire department just gives out free car seats. We don't do that. It's not something that could be financially sustainable. But the great part about the event today is there have been some seats provided by a third party, and we will be able to give out some car seats. So if you are in financial need and you can't afford a safe seat for your kid, or if you show up to this event and your car seat has been recalled and you didn't even know it, we might be able to replace that seat for you. And you'll have car seat technicians as well as people learning to be car seat technicians out at this event, educating the public, because our goal is not to just install that car seat and send you on the way. We want to educate the parent to install it right every time, because 3 out of 5 car seats riding around the streets today are not installed correctly.
Well, and you make a good point, and there are caregivers who flip-flop cars, and you take the seat out, and for convenience sake, just kind of pop it in there.
Yeah.
And, once you have an accident, it's too late to determine if your seat was properly installed, and that seat could come loose, and the child could be in the seat banging around just like they're not in a seat. And so that's what this clinic's about.
And a lot of people focus really hard on the installation of the seat into the car, but it's not even just that. It's also the child into the seat, making sure the child is secured correctly in the seat where those harnesses are going to work the right way. And we have seen in my 20 years, I have seen both the amazing positive outcomes of properly installed seats, and I've seen the catastrophic outcomes of either no seat or improperly installed. So we want to make sure that we're educating everybody as best we can.
And here's the other thing. I mean, there are countless numbers and styles of seats.
Yeah.
At Target, Walmart, wherever you buy your seat. I mean, because you have this variety of seats, Each one comes with a different hook. Maybe the thing goes over the back seat. Maybe your SUV has the clip in the back. If it doesn't, what do you do with that extra cable? These are all things that the techs will talk about.
Exactly.
At the event. Again, when is it and who can
It is
take part?
today from 10 a.m. until 12 p.m. in the Target parking lot in Scarborough Road. And again, anybody who transports little ones, we highly encourage you to come out. Even if your child is still in a booster seat, that's one of the biggest things that we see is kids coming out of seats too soon. We want to make sure that seatbelt is sitting properly. So if your child is in a booster seat, to keep that seatbelt sitting in the right spot, that is equally as important as the infant in a car seat.
I've got 7 adult kids and 14 grands. And so when you've dealt with the kids all these years over the course of being young, my kids now, in their 30s and 40s, I've gone through the process.
Yeah.
And a lot of people think that once your child reaches a certain age, now you put them in the booster. And it has everything to do with weight and height.
Weight and height.
Right.
Exactly.
And people don't know that.
Exactly. And they say, well, my kid's feet touch the back of the seat, so I want to turn them around facing forward. Not necessarily, because just because their feet are reaching the back of that seat doesn't mean their necks are able to support that forward motion impact. So there's so much that just like anything else, there's so much nuance that goes into it, and we're here to help and educate and provide people with the resources they need to keep folks safe.
Well, parenting and raising kids does not come with any instructions. You kind of do it. So
I can remember fighting over who got to lay down in the back of the station wagon.
Tell me about it. Right.
I had a brother and a sister, and it was a battle of one of us got to lay down in the back.
And look, and neither one of you knew the danger that you really had in driving in the back of a pickup truck. Whatever. So look, all right, we beat that down. Get over to the Target parking lot next to Best Buy there on Scarborough Road.
Yes, sir.
And you have some experts there telling you what you got to do with car seats. I said the kids don't come with, and parents no instructions. Those car seats do come with instructions on how you're supposed to install them. Those normally get tossed, and people say, I got this. No, you don't.
They also come with an awesome little card that if you register that seat, you'll get notified of any recalls, so you don't have to worry about it. They'll email you if you use that registration card. So lots of good stuff out there today.
All right, let's beat down something else. You got a program here that's encouraging women to become firefighters.
Yeah.
Give me the details on that.
So we are excited. One of the things in the 7 years or so that I've been the recruitment officer, I learned very quickly what I don't know. And what Captain Shakeshaft has no idea is what it's like to be a woman in a male-dominated field.
Hold it now. Okay. Kenny, he doesn't know what it's like to be a woman in a male-dominated field. And I've seen female firefighters out there doing their thing. Mm-hmm. And Kenny, your thoughts?
I'm staying out of this.
He is a smart man.
Well, that's kind of what this event is geared toward, is me staying out of it. So I'll be there, and so will several of the ladies who currently are serving with the Fayetteville Fire Department. And I'm going to get up and I'm going to go over the process, because that's my specialty, is how do you get hired? What's the application look like? How do I make sure that I fill it out correctly and don't get bumped out? And then I'm going to step back and I'm going to let the ladies lead a practice of the physical ability test, because the body mechanics of a woman are just a little bit different. So they're going to lead up that training to help other women and inspire other women into this service. We have a young lady that just started with us. She did a little interview, and she talked about that she had always wanted to do it, but she didn't think she could because she's short. She was, as she said, vertically challenged. And what she realized is, with a little bit of change in body mechanics, she can do the job. And she's doing an awesome job in the academy right now, learning how to do this. So we're gonna hone in on letting ladies lead and teach ladies. And then we'll also do the normal candidate orientation stuff. I'll teach an interview skills class, and it's going to be a great day. It's the June 27th, Saturday, June 27th, from 9 to 3. We're going to buy you lunch. We'll have the physical ability test in. While you're eating lunch, I'm going to get out of the room and let you ask the ladies some of the hard questions. Let's talk about some real world stuff of what it's like to be a woman in a male dominated field. And I'm not even going to be in the room. You guys have those conversations while you're eating lunch. Then we'll come back.
Well, what's the percentage? How many females do we have on board now?
So right now we're only sitting about 8% female. And there's a long a history of why and how that came to be. But what we're focused on right now is making sure that women know they can do the job. It's a cultural thing. You know what I mean? It's not that they can't. It's that it's not something they see as an opportunity. So the more women, I'm super proud. We have hired more women in the last year than I can think. Our last academy had 5 ladies in it. That's unheard of, and it's absolutely awesome because now younger women are seeing role models. They're seeing a woman get off the truck and saying, wait a minute, I can do that. The young girl can see that and aspire to be that. So at the end of the day, everybody needs to be involved. I make the joke all the time. I don't know about you, but I'd be pretty lost without a woman in my life. Yeah. I've made some poor decisions without a woman pointing me in the right direction. Why isn't the workforce any different? The workforce is the same.
And this community, we have soldiers at Fort Bragg, female soldiers who are doing the job.
Yep.
They do the job. They do what they have to do to make sure that the country is safe. They volunteered to be involved with the military in a lot of different aspects of that job.
Yep.
And so the same thing is true of what you're saying here. Women, you want to encourage women to at least consider it.
Exactly.
And come out and see through dialogue with fellow females who are already on the fire department. See what the dialogue is about actually being day to day working in the operation. And they'll be able to get that at this event.
Exactly. And I think it's our 6th one we've done, and we took a year off for COVID, but we've been doing it, and it's been great turnout and great results. And we've got some awesome ladies working for us today, I believe, as a result of this event. So we're excited to have another one.
All right. Anything new on Fire Station number 4?
No news to share at this point. Still continuing on that process, that legal process. But as Fire Station 4 continues to make progress forward, so do the other stations, Station 16, Station 9. If you may or may not have seen big happenings yesterday at Station 2, the tree out front of Station 2, I'm not sure if you saw that on our social media, but unfortunately that beautiful historic tree in front of Station 2 had to come down. The decay inside the tree was just getting too bad and a little too dangerous. So
was it oak tree? What type of tree?
I think it's an oak. I think it's an oak tree. It was beautiful. It's been there longer than the station's been there, over 100 years easily. And that community really came out with concerns when we said we had to bring it down. But after speaking with them and explaining to them the safety concerns, we had some great dialogue with the neighborhood, and they understood why it had to happen. And I don't know whose idea it was. I think it might have been Chief Dove's. But we are going to take some of that wood from that tree, and we are going to build a dining room table for the future renovations of Station 2. So generations going forward can keep the memory of that tree and all the memories that were made under that tree, as far as, pedestrians walking down the street, catching some shade and all that. That tree is going to be the next dining room table for Fire Station number 2 as renovations start.
Yeah, Kenny,
soon.
I got you up. Kenny's in there oohing and ahhing and saying, well, that's a pretty neat thing.
Yeah, it's very cool because I know the old people, the old ways, and I can see the firemen of this town sitting under that tree saying, all right, what are we going to do? How are we going to get that water to these people?
Yeah.
Well, look, Captain Stephen Shakeshaft with the Fayetteville Fire Department, it's always a pleasure to have you come out here. I was about to give your time away, and I went through my that's happened where I've overbooked and everything like that, and I was going to have Fawn Doherty come in to talk about Father's Day and his loss of his daughter Genesis, and how do you get through Father's Day when you have a loss. You got Father's Day coming up. Anything special plans for you?
No. My dad lives 600 miles away, and I don't really, I don't have to. My mom's passed away. My dad's 600 miles away, so those things are just kind of,
Well, my son lives here, and he bought us breakfast this morning.
After the beat down.
I beat him down on the air. My son was listening. He said, Dad, you want me to bring you a biscuit or something?
Yeah, I just send out some love to all the fathers who are riding fire trucks and police cars on Father's Day instead of being home with their families, because, we work whether it's a holiday or not. If it's your day to work, it's your day to work. So there's going to be fathers all over Fayetteville in police cars and fire trucks working. So just keep them in your prayers and thoughts.
All right, look, Captain Shakeshaft, it's always a pleasure to talk to you, and thank you for sharing a little bit of time with the mayor. I had to beat him down real quick this morning to talk about this consolidation of the 911. You're listening to News Talk 640 WFNC.
Today will be mostly sunny and hot with a high of 99, but feeling like 105. Tonight will be mostly cloudy with rain and thunderstorms and a low of 73. Friday will have rain and thunderstorms in the morning. We will then have gradual clearing with a high of 90. After a rainy start to Friday, the weekend will be rain-free and sunny, but it's still going to be hot with highs in the 90s. That's your Fayetteville forecast. I'm CBS 17 meteorologist Rachel Dunzing.
All right, all of you on the Facebook thing, you've seen me on and everything. I've been doing all this because I forgot to punch up Rachel, but that's okay. 79 degrees. That's what you have right now in Fayetteville, Hopeville, and also Fort Bragg. And also in Bun Level.
Bun Level?
You're listening to Newstalk 640 WFNC.
When was the last time your CPA brought you a strategy that dramatically